Brothers and sisters, what's going on? It's Brother Wisdom. Let's see. We've been talking about time reconstructing the atoms. Now let's go through a brief discussion on atoms and what atoms are. Okay? Atoms are made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. All right. Each atom has its own source of proton, neutron, electron, just like carbon is made of 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Our carbon bodies each atom contains 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons that create our carbon body. Okay. This is one thing. This is a beautiful thing about being a carbon being. Okay. Now, what happens is atoms become active with certain waves. Your brain flows on gamma waves. All right. Which is why we have an enemy who wants us to only use 10% of our brain power, because 10% of our brain power is very low frequency. All right. Get up, go to work, have sex, eat, sleep, watch TV, go to church, pay bills. All right. Get on the phone, watching TikTok is a part of watching TV. All right. So go to work, go home, go to sleep, go to church, pay bills, have sex, argue, fight, listen to crazy music or whatever. You know, that's only 10% brain power. Some of it's just 5% brain power. All right, which means that there are no gamma waves. All right, let's see. I came across an article. All right, listen to this right here. Scientists from Columbia University and Sweden Chalmers University of Technology captured the sound of a single excited atom, a phonon, for the first time ever. This incredible accomplishment, published in the Science Journal Thursday, could change the future of quantum communication. So what does a single atom in motion sound like? It's the faintest sound physically feasible. The sound is so incredibly soft, researchers weren't able to actually hear it. The sound amplitude or strength is very weak. The study's co-author, Goran Johansson, told Motherboard, basically when you excite the atom, it creates a sound, one phonon at a time. According to theory, it is the weakest possible sound at the frequency that it vibrates. All right. So just think about it. The atom is excited when they some kind of way they activated this one atom. All right. This is what our enemies are doing. Our enemies are studying, brothers and sisters. I mean, they're in deep work. They're studying. All right. I'm so serious. And some of us are waiting for a savior. Seriously. Some of us are still waiting for a savior. And what I gathered through this right here, you got one atom that created a phonon. Now let's do this right here. We're going to do this right here. What is a phonon? Okay. We're going to do this so that is a phonon. What is a phonon? What is a phonon? A phonon, a unit of vibrational energy that arises from oscillating atoms within a crystal. It is a type of quasi-particle, which means it is in an excited state of collective phenomenon. A phonon is a quantum mechanical description of the modes of vibrations for elastic structures of interacting particles. Phonon play a role in many physical properties of solids and some liquids, such as heat conduction and sound transmission. It's important for you all to know. All right. So phonon in physics, collective excitation in a periodic elastic arrangement of atoms or molecules in a condensed matter. Okay. So what excites the atoms within us? When you go on a higher level, when you start thinking on higher level, you say, how can I create this? How can I create this? How does this operate? Because when you start thinking about how something operates, and you start thinking about on a cosmic level, and you start going into your state of meditation because you want to know, because the only way you're going to find out is you're going to have to meditate, because mankind doesn't have any type of curriculum on the true nature of how the cosmos and the universe works. This causes your brain to begin to flow in a different manner. Now you create your brain is in that quantum state, creating gamma waves. These atoms are excited by the gamma waves. This is what raises your frequencies. All right. Because the atoms become excited, and you have trillions and trillions of atoms within your body. So if each atom, and we just think about it, we have our carbon body has the carbon has one proton, one electron, one neutron. All right, protons, electrons, and neutrons create atoms. All right. So you have these electrical charges inside of the atoms that are getting excited because the wavelength of your mind has literally become cognitive. All right. So the wavelength of your mind is literally beginning to is causing an excited state, because now these atoms want to be, because these atoms literally want to be emotion. These atoms want to be excited because they want to reconstruct themselves. So what happens? Of course, your body is getting all hot. Why is your body getting hot? Because now these atoms, these protons, neutrons, electrons are becoming metaphysically charged within you, because you have made that movement to think on a higher level. All right. That higher level has caused you to vibrate on another level, because now the frequencies within you. So you're talking about one phonon at a time. You have trillions of atoms, which means you have trillions of phonons within your body beginning to oscillate. All right. Your mind is the main part of your body. Your brain literally controls the whole freaking body. That is why it's important to be in a state of discipline, to have a disciplined mindset and a more conscious state. All right. This is extremely important. Okay. This is extremely important because this takes us into a whole nother area of understanding how we literally operate. All right. Each element is made of different atoms. Okay. Element is a substance that is made entirely of one type of atom. For example, the element of hydrogen is made from atoms containing just one proton and one electron. So it is the atom is dependent upon the amount of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay, that's the beauty of it. You can look at your periodic table elements, and you can pull up the periodic table and start looking at the atoms and what atom create this, how many the protons, neutrons, and electrons in each one of them. For instance, lithium. Lithium has 3 protons, 3 neutrons, and 3 protons, 3 electrons, and 4 neutrons. All right. So these electrical particles is what create the atom, and the atom itself creates the element. All right. So our bodies contain all the elements in the periodic table of elements. All right. Our carbon bodies contain the elements in all the elements in the periodic table of elements. So just imagine all these elements that's within us, the atoms that create the elements, and we're talking about trillions of atoms, trillions and trillions of atoms that create the elements. They began to become excited, and they began to create a vibrational sound called a phonon. And now these phonons, because like you say, these phonons are based upon the electrons, protons, and neutrons that are within that create that atom. So now these charged particles begin to move around, and now the atom begins to reconstruct itself, because now you're thinking on a higher level. Now the atom begins to reconstruct itself, and now you bringing yourself into a deeper state of that quantum energy. You got to understand, when we talked about that quantum energy, remember we said quantum, the word quantum literally means the ability to use less physical force as possible. That's what you talk about quantum. So now you go into that state of what they call superhuman or superpower. Little by little by little, just by studying something, finding out how this thing works, expanding the consciousness of your mind. Therefore, you be able to connect to so many different things. And this is the beauty of knowledge, true knowledge. Okay, so the phonon creates the atom. All right. And say how elements formed by atoms connecting with each other. These scientists say they got to be smashed together. We don't have to smash. Nature doesn't smash anything together. Nature knows how to perfectly bond these different atoms together to create an element. All right. Nature knows how to do this. This is ancient science. Okay. Let's see. Now we're going to go here. Oh, it's already been there. An element is a substance that's made. Okay, we went through there. We went there. Let me see where I'm going. Okay, so music and sound waves, all material substances are comprised of atoms, which may be forced into oscillation about their equilibrium positions. Many different patterns of vibration exist at the atomic level, and acoustics is focused on particles that contain atoms that move in unison to produce a mechanical wave. You understand this here? So it's important that let's read this again. All material substances are comprised of atoms. Your material body, the tree, the water. Water is a material substance, okay? It's material. The leaves, the grass, all right? Fire itself is comprised of different atoms that these protons, electrons, and neutrons are so hypercharged that they create the fire, they create the heat, all right? When you talk about material, you're talking about physical. All right, the trash can, the car, they're all comprised of atoms. And these atoms literally create the element, and the element creates either the crystal, the metal, or the mineral. All right, that's what the element does. The element creates either one of those. All right, so when we on a physical level, when we begin to think on a higher level, what we say that those charged particles in us begin to oscillate, and atoms begin to reconstruct themselves. And now what's happening? We are literally reconstructing our physical body to become a more powerful vessel. All right. We ain't even got into the spiritual atomic structure. We're just talking about the physical atomic structure, because when you start talking about the spiritual atomic structure, that's a completely different subject. All right. Spiritual atoms that you gain through certain levels of knowledge. But the more powerful your mind becomes, the more powerful your spirit becomes, the more powerful your soul becomes, the more powerful your body becomes, which means that you are now vibrating on a completely different level. All right. And everyone would see that. That's the importance. All right. Researchers have gained control of elusive particle called sound, called a phonon. Although phonons are the smallest units of vibrational energy that make up sound waves, not matter, they can be considered particles the way phonons are particles of light. All right. So this is when you start going into what you're talking about, light energy. These phonons open up gateways within you, because they become electrically charged within your body. All right. And therefore, when you start studying and you start, just like right now, I'm giving off this information. My chest is getting hot. My head is getting hot. Why? Because there is a light energy that's happening inside of my body that I can't see. Because now what's happening is because we're on this high level subject, and these brain waves are now producing these powerful gamma waves within my mind. All right. And inside of your body is literally condensed energy. It's literally a vacuum inside of your body. Your body is literally a vacuum space, just like space up in the air is vacuum. Underwater is not vacuum. Underwater is completely different. When you're talking about volume in space, completely different. All right, because water doesn't create a vacuum. Water is just volume itself. But when you're talking about space up there, that's vacuum. And the same thing that's within your body. All right. So what happens? You got all these powerful elements inside of your body, and your brain waves, these gamma waves from your brains, and you studying on a higher level, causing these protons, neutrons, and electrons in each atom to become hyper electrified, and now there's a light energy that's created inside of you. All right. That light is nothing but that vibrational energy that's literally carrying you into another area of energy and power. All right. So you can also hear it in your ears. You can hear that, because the sharper it gets, that means that you are on this higher level. Every now and then you get that, woo, that's that higher level. So we're talking about the power of the atoms that's within us. All right. And the power of the atoms within us are extremely powerful. And this is why we must be on a consistent basis of taking ourselves into that higher level of thinking. All right. The higher level of the ability to see things on a completely different level, to operate. How do you operate? It's the question. How do you operate? How do you that's the question. This is why we say it's important that we be on that state of building and creating, because what happens, we begin to think, and these thoughts cause our brain waves to flow a different way, and that's a part of that Kundalini energy. Like we was talking about the chamber of secrets. So now these chambers, the dormant parts of your mind begin to open up, and then begin to reveal secrets to your heart. You see how your body parts of your body communicate with each other? All right. The information, that's the secret information within your mind, these gateways and chambers open up and release information to your heart, and from your heart you speak it from your mouth. And this is how everything operates. So it's important that we be on a higher level so that we can contain the proper frequencies and vibrations that takes us into a new level of energy and power. All right. So just wanted to share that with you all. All right. Just wanted to share that with you all. The power of the atoms within us, the power of the atomic structure of our bodies. I mean, it's something that we must really take in consideration and focus on. Okay. Let's bring ourselves into this next level, brothers and sisters. All right. That's about all I got for you. You know the deal. All power to the multi-chakra celestial angelic beings. Make chaos reign with you forever and ever and ever. Remember, chaos is everything. Much power to you all.